congratulations on the movie, man. And congratulations on that cool coat.
Man, you're looking pretty spiffy yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. New Captain America movie, new Marvel movie. You've been part of this, had this skin in the game for quite a while now. How personal has this character and his journey become to you? And how comfortable was that transition from superhero to the superhero being?
It really means a lot to me that Sam Wilson is finally getting his time to shine. Just seeing where the character started and the humanity and dignity he brought to Captain America Winter Soldier, and now carrying that into Captain America Brave New World. I'm just really proud to say I had input and an opinion on how Sam was going to look in this movie, and Julius and I talked about that constantly. Just what was that representation of who Captain America was and who Sam was. So it's I think it comes across pretty well in the movie.
Was it easy to reprogram your brain from seeing the words Captain America on a call sheet and not think of Chris? That's me now, that's me.
Nah, it was the reprogramming came in with, damn, I got to work every day. That was the hard part. But it was, it's funny when, you think about the call sheet and you think about movies of this size and this magnitude. It's really about the people you're surrounded with. And Julius and I talked early on about our dream cast, our dream list of actors we could get if no wasn't an answer. And, Harrison was on that list, and Giancarlo was on that list. So it's just a great opportunity to be able to stand toe-to-toe with a bunch of actors you admire and respect.
And always new, fresh and exciting. There's no kind of bittersweetness, because I guess this family you've built over the years, these castmates, these friends, the people you work with, who kind of end up dropping off and going and doing other things, and you're continuing
and getting
the
Oscar
story.
nominations.
And getting the Oscar awards.
Let's just drop that tidbit in there for my man.
I mean, that's in the future for you as well. You don't have to worry about that right now. But is there any element when you do these films of sort of like you talked about summer camp, it's like going to summer camp with some of your best friends not being there anymore? Or is it always like, look at these new people, look at this new stuff?
No, that was hard at first. Just because the idea of, you see people once a year, once every 2 years, some people got married, some people got divorced, some people had kids. It becomes this idea of friendship being more than work. Yeah. And making new friends, like Harrison and Tim Blake and now Danny. It's really an amazing process how these movies bring us together and how much of ourselves we put in them.
And of course, you're looking forward to the reunion of all the cast coming back together for the future.
Oh, so much fun, yeah. 300,000 people in one movie.
Get them all in, it's going to be great. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Harrison, to your right, please. Welcome, Harrison, back to a sunny day in central London. Your relationship with this place goes back to, back in the Star Wars days, lodging in Notting Hill. How has this place changed over that time, and do you kind of miss being able to skulk around unnoticed like you might have done in the old days?
Well, obviously, London's changed a lot. The world's changed a lot. It was a very exciting time then. It's a very demanding time now. And London's always very vibrant and exciting place to visit, especially when the sun shines.
Indeed, on the rare occasion. Speaking of vibrant and exciting, you're joining the most vibrant and exciting franchise in the movie business at the moment in the MCU. Let's talk about hulking out. Ruffalo's had a kind of monopoly on that in recent years. Did you take any pointers from him for this one?
He wasn't available for a consultation. I just had to wing it. I hope he's not disappointed.
I'm sure he's not. I'm sure a few fans would like to see whether you guys go toe-to-toe to work out which one is the superior. Hulkier. Which one's Hulkier, yeah. I think taking over from the great William Hurt in Thaddeus Ross, is that the first time since Alec Baldwin that you've kind of picked up off somebody else's role? Does that bring a new challenge, a different sort of challenge when you're taking over a role that somebody else has played so well?
Well, I'm not sure the parallel between Alec Baldwin and Bill Hurt applies to what I've done, but it then becomes your responsibility to fill out the shoes that have walked before you. And I have a lot of help from the script because the character's life becomes more complicated and interesting, perhaps. but it's the level of dramatic, involvement here is very high. It's kind of operatic, and of course, I had not been in part of a Marvel film before, but it was very interesting for me to be part of it.
Talking about dramatic involvement, over in the States at the moment, they have decided there would be a sort of Hollywood envoy of the likes of Gibson, of the likes of Voight, of the likes of Stallone to improve the situation in Hollywood. Does it need it?
Thank you very much. It's really been nice talking to you. Really, have a nice day. Beautiful day.
Joining the kind of the Marvel juggernaut as a filmmaker, how daunting is the prospect of satisfying all those comic book hordes out there that are going to be blighting your life for the next 20, 30 years, no doubt?
Look, it's thrilling more so than anything. Sure, there's pressure, but I love making movies. I'm so fortunate to be in this world. There's a great history of these characters, and there's an incredible team at Marvel. So, yeah, there's pressure, but I felt so supported, and they were such a collaborative team. Everybody there, Kevin Feige, Lou Esposito, Nate Moore, Keanu Davidson, and Gillian Henry, the team I worked with day to day, were just so supportive. So I felt great every step of the way.
Making movies of this scale feels like a very specialized skill that works for some, sometimes doesn't work for others. How, as a filmmaker, do you make something personal to you, but inside this huge machinery?
I think whatever the size of the movie is, you have to stay true to the emotional core and to the themes. So for me, it was about identifying those and then working with the incredibly talented cast that we had to bring it to life in front of the screen. So I never felt like, oh my God, this movie is so massive, but I don't know how to tell this story, because I think we were very clear about who these characters were, what the themes were, and we focused on that. And whether you're making a little indie like my previous film or a film like this, it's about the life in front of the camera, and we were so fortunate to have an excellent cast.
And it's called A Brave New World. There's a lot of kind of new concepts and new areas where Marvel hasn't delved in before. Does that help you kind of shed the weight of what's come before and the stories that have already been told?
I think having Sam Wilson, having Anthony Mackie in this role, he's introducing us to a new Captain America, so that's taking us forward in a really, really unique and special way. Yet he's connected to the history, obviously, going back to Winter Soldier and his relationship with Steve. So this was an opportunity to look back and look forward at the same time, and that was really exciting.
And congratulations, man. Congratulations on the movie.
I feel like the most prepped to take in this cold, man.
I'm wearing more layers than you can see as well, believe you me. I'm absolutely golden. But starting in any kind of franchise, starting any kind of job, it's difficult and daunting enough. But when you're doing the job and playing a character or playing the role loosely that your co-star has been playing successfully for many, many years, what's that like on set? Were you always kind of corner of your eye looking, going, is he judging how I'm doing this?
Well, no, I think it's they're different people, right? So. But from the very first time when we did it on the TV show, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I realized how simple my job was. Because Danny as an actor and Joaquin as someone that has his hero right there in his vicinity, all I had to do was observe him. And so it wasn't necessarily here looking over my shoulder to see if I was doing it right. It was literally like, all right, what are you doing? Because then I get to quite literally learn from you how you engage with the room, how you lead the culture on set. Me, like Danny looking at Anthony, but then for Joaquin to look at Sam, it was like, how are you a leader? How are you taking on this mantle? And so it was kind of art imitating life and life imitating art. So for me, it felt it took away all that stress and that pressure.
This sort of learning curve you've been on the last couple of years, it's kind of mind-blowing, I guess, if you were to sit down to yourself as a little boy and say, this is what's going to happen over this period of time. Doing the kind of Top Gun stuff, working with Tom Cruise, moving into this, working with Anthony, working with Harrison Ford and the like. Has it been like a kind of a roller coaster for you, or are you just trying to soak up as much as possible? And how does this kind of experience differ from the last one?
Well, I think it hasn't been that much of a roller coaster. Like the press stuff is a roller coaster because we're going on one city to the other. But on set, there is a through line between all these greats that I've been lucky to work with, which is, and I would say that success leaves clues, right? There's an inherent quality within all their work of these artists that I've been able to play with. and it's consistently like caring for your craft, putting more energy into it than anybody else could fathom, and that doesn't make it that simple, obviously, because then it's like, okay, where are the hours of the day? But I think that is something that I've carried with me and want to keep carrying through the rest of my career. It'd be foolish of me to ignore what's made them so successful. You know?
And well, talking about what's made them so successful, what do you think's the kind of the secret sauce of this particular franchise? It's just grown and grown and grown and turned into something that I don't think anyone expected 20 years ago. Why do you think it keeps uniting people in how society gets more and more polarized? People still tuning into these Marvel movies. We're still breaking bread over these stories.
Well, I think it's craftsmanship. When you try to distill, the comics are obviously magical, the stories are magical, but there's other magical stuff in the world, right? But Marvel does such a great job of collecting and bringing into groups some of the best craftsmen in the industry. So that's where art and from stunts to the actors, it gives you like the state-of-the-art tools to be able to tell story. And even then, it's always a film success is a crapshoot, because there has to be that little bit of madness and magic. And I think we were so blessed to just be able to work with the best of the best, from cinematographers to directors. And I think when it boils down to that, it's a company like that believes in art and just brings in the best collaborators possible.
Well, finally, Falcon's had a great trajectory so far. Looking forward to becoming Captain America in about 10 years' time.
Oh, come on. He's trying to get the clickbait on that one.